I think I should straighten up. I mean, I should be upfront with this. I started a joke. Okay, the reason, well, see, I don't have very many arrowheads. And I have probably 2 or 3 times that many. I think about 30, and most of them are broken. So since I didn't have any arrowheads, I just made up some stuff. I've been kidding. I mean, I realize you guys hunt arrowheads and know all about them and got boxes full of them. I know that you understand that everything those folks did, they had to use arrowheads. Yeah, they had to use those. That's why there's so many of them. They used them to make their clothing, baskets. They used them to sew leather. They used them to catch fish. They used them to make traps. They used them to build their teepees. They took care of their raised bed gardening with them. They used them to break up firewood. They used them to make shoes. They used them to carve wooden art, etc. They even used them to raise their children. That's all you needed, folks. Just arrowheads. And I just started the joke about talking about the pieces of stone that is really junk. It's the ones that lays around there where you looking for the arrowheads. And since I didn't have very many arrowheads, I had to make up this joke. I was just kidding. I really was. I was just kidding. These little things like this, they couldn't be engraving tools. They're just pieces of knocked off that, and they were kind of worthless. A lot of times the little babies would cut their knees on them because there's so big of a pile of debris making those. And those folks didn't need anvils. They didn't need anvils. They didn't need stones that would straighten out shafts. They didn't play around, make art. Get real. They didn't need hammer stones and polishing stones. And just because this polishing stone just happened to have 2 elephants right there with their trunks entwined, and it just happened to be in a crescent shape, it was total accident. I mean, it wasn't an arrowhead, so it can't be real. These folks, they didn't give a hoot about things like that. It wasn't an arrowhead. They didn't have any reason for some little round throwing stones. They didn't have reasons for, they definitely didn't have any reason to have a chopper. Now, what in the world would they want with a chopper? They wouldn't want stones that would look like that or that. They just wouldn't. I mean, they got to be arrowheads. You can't say that that's a chopper. You can't do it. I mean, it's not an arrowhead. And art, I'm just been kidding. This is not art or nothing. I mean, because that bird's there and a horse and a bunch of other stuff, that's my imagination. And it just happened that way. Natural stone, it's like that. I put a little color on it, but it wouldn't look like nothing if I hadn't. And axes, if they don't look like this, they're not an axe. Get real, folks. These folks that collect arrowheads know this. Like this. If it don't look like that, it's not a knife. Wake up. I'm just kidding. This is not real. This one right here. Why would anybody want a knife that looked like that when they could make them like that? Or this? What in the world would anybody want a knife looking like that? And the art is just accidental. It just happened that way. And I just think I see a horse picked out on that. I'm calling it an axe. But I know it's not. It's not one of those. And I just imagine that I see bears on stones. I'm just imagining that I can pick up boxes full of tools. I'm imagining all that. So you'll understand then when I do just a little bit more imagining today. I imagine that I have several stones that has a thunderbird fussing with a snake. But there's something that I wonder. On nearly all the thunderbird and snake stones, the snake has a hold of the thunderbird's wing. So that's the symbolism for what? I think it's kind of like an internal battle with us, ourselves, every day. Choices we have to make on the decisions that we think up. Which way to go, what path to take. But isn't it odd that the snake is always attacking the thunderbird's wing? The wing is needed to fly. So the battle is whether to fly. I'm just a storyteller, folks. Don't believe everything I say. There's the truth. Right there. Arrowheads is the answer to it all. Okay. Quiz time at Frogpond School. Answer all questions correctly and receive an A+. Question 1. From which angle should you look at the stone? A. First, let me get a cup of coffee. B. First, let me get a bowl. C. All of them. Question 2. How can you tell a male rock from a female rock? A. There is no way to tell. B. One stone will have larger knobs. C. Feel the stone in the dark. Question 3. When can you make a judgment on the stone? A. When you can keep a secret. B. When someone is listening. C. When you have the attention of many. 4. How do you deal with an angry stone? A. Return the anger. B. Allow the anger to heal. C. You don't. Number 6. Can you tell the difference in the stone of a smile or a laugh? A. Depends on my mood. B. I see nothing of the sort. C. Feel it in the dark. 7. What's the best time to view a stone? A. When I'm awake. B. When I'm asleep. C. When I figure out what the F happened to question 5. I can't play with rocks today. So my New Year's resolution is to do what I'm told and behave. Folks, I never know where my poem will begin or end, but I know when it's time to write a poem to a friend. I apologize if I must, but first I must find the words. I love to talk. I read my messages and think of them as a scroll. I have a cup of tea and then unroll the scroll, and then I choose to speak. I unroll the scroll a little at a time. Is this the reason no one talks to me, except to tell me the weather or ask what I'm going to be when I grow up? I have no question for that answer, but that still leads to continuum. Some part of the body will make a foe of the rest of itself and still ask the great eagle for teaching and healing. This stranger knocks at your door. This stranger can take more and more. Please don't say something or do that makes this stranger slam your door on you. Talk to me or don't. Folks, let's talk about pareidolia. First, let's go back 20,000 years. If the people wished to speak to others in their art, they would carve their image in the stone. That's why we see the faces. If nature wished to speak to us, nature would show our face in the trees, the fog, the clouds. Place her foot. There are many things we must give our tears, and many that require our anger. But when the anger has been given, we must allow the Great Spirit to make judgment. It is not for us to hold on to that anger. Our job is done, and we need no reward. You call me pond scum. That didn't hurt. But you said my poetry sucks. It'll take me a while to get over that. Folks, if you've watched my many videos, you've seen this part when I don't hang on so tight. I just talk and write. I can't play with rocks today. I have to behave.